Hey, it's Gord, and I show you how to improve your skills to make great videos. In this video, I want to share with you 9 tips on how to be more successful with voiceover narration in your videos. I'll show you ideas for how to prepare for, perform, and present your voiceovers to have the greatest impact on your audience. Before we dive into the tips, let's examine, why do you need a voiceover in your video in the first place? A strong voiceover helps to set the whole mood and tone of the video, and you can use it to answer the important questions such as who, what, where, when, and why for the listener. For example, a travel guide voiceover can help to tell the viewer what's going on and where to focus their attention. Or if you're a coach or a person that desires to gain authority and trust, you can get in front of your audience and express not only yourself, but your content as well, and engage them either visually or audibly. So, once a viewer clicks play on your video, a successful voiceover can make the difference to keep them interested and want to stay and hear what you have to say. But a poorly executed voiceover can ruin your video. So you need to watch out for things that may make your video unwatchable, like excessive or irritating noises, repeated words, use of too many filler words, talking too slow or talking too fast, over-repeating words, and of course, bad content. You get the idea. I've got a bunch of great tips for you so that you can avoid all of these stumbling blocks and produce an entertaining and impactful video. Let's look at a few things you should do before you record your voiceover. Tip number 1, do a vocal warm-up. Tongue twisters are a great general practice for vocal warm-up before you record your voiceovers. They will help you sound more professional and ensure that your voice doesn't sound groggy or tired. Heck, doing these exercises will even help your voice to warm up if you have a cold or allergies. A tongue twister to a vocal artist is what stretching is to an athlete. By practicing with tongue twisters, all the articulation muscles, including the jaw, tongue, lips, and so forth, get a nice workout. Just search Google for tongue twisters and you'll find lots of practice scripts. My favorite one is the script with Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Another helpful warm-up is doing breathing exercises. These kind of exercises will help to extend the capacity of your breath. I've had times where I'm near ready to gasp for air before I finish the read of a sentence or a paragraph. Tip number 2, take care of your voice. Your voice is an instrument of your body and you need to take care of it for it to perform well. On the obvious side of things, being well rested and not shouting helps keep your voice in good condition. However, your voice may sound different at different times of the day. For example, your morning voice may be deeper than a more energetic afternoon voice or a tired evening voice. Due to this variance, it's a good idea to record at a consistent time of the day to help achieve consistency in the quality of your vocal performance. Another factor that messes up with your voice is the consumption of milk and dairy. When you eat milk and dairy, you build up mucus in your system. This can show up in mouth noises, including those annoying clicking mouth noises, so it's best to avoid taking dairy, especially before recording sessions. A helpful solution is to take a bite of a green apple that will help to clear out the mouth and eliminate those clicking sounds in your voice for your delivery. So now, I defer my nibbles of milk chocolate to after my vocal performance, like a little reward. Tip number 3, ensure proper hydration. Another common challenge faced by the voiceover artist is poor hydration, which may cause a dry or low energy voice. You can avoid these problems by drinking lots of water starting early in the day and then continuing to sip more water throughout the day. Don't rely on caffeine or alcohol, which can lead to dehydration as well. Alcohol causes constriction in your throat muscles, while caffeine contributes to excessive dryness in the throat. If you're having a coffee to perk up or a drink to calm down, they aren't going to necessarily ruin your performance, but it's best to limit these drinks. And if you must have one, follow it up with an extra glass of water. Tip number 4, be prepared and rehearse your script. Read your script several times. A good approach to ensure high-quality audio is to read the script out loud, be clear about what you want to say, find the right pace, manage your breath, and most importantly, get used to the message you're communicating before you hit the record button. When you're not properly prepared, you spit out filler words like ums and ahs that detract from the flow and impact of your intended message, and your audience may lose interest instantly, no matter how compelling you thought your message was. The more you practice and rehearse, the more confident and comfortable you will be. Tip number 5, mark up your script. Before you do any recording, consider marking up your script to ensure you know what phrases you want to emphasize and what you want your tone, your pitch and inflection and pace to be, as well as where the pauses should be taken. By having the vocal awareness about how you're going to deliver the narration, you will be more successful in communicating your intended feelings and emotions. Now, let's shift to some tips on how to give a great performance. Tip number 6. Give your vocal performance the dynamic energy it needs. To bring your script to life, your passion or whatever emotional intention you have needs to come to life through your vocal performance. The volume you speak, the clarity of your enunciation, your speed of voice, and even the pitch of your voice all have to be working harmoniously to bring out the interesting you that the listener will be enjoying to hear. If you are monotone or speaking too fast, you're causing sensory distress and you may lose the listener. For example, you don't want to talk like this because the audience will click away immediately as you're rambling, monotone, and boring. And you don't want to talk super fast like this because it will take too much effort for people to understand what you're talking about. So it all boils down to delivering your voiceover in a clear and concise way that makes it easy on the ears for your audience. Tip number 7. Stand or sit up straight, like I'm doing now. Your posture also shows up in your voice. So stand up if you can, or at least sit up in your chair. Standing or sitting up straight allows your diaphragm to be more open and enables more significant and controlled breathing so that you don't run out of gas. Also, with a good posture and an at-the-ready stance, you'll be able to speak more powerfully. Tip number 8. Be conversational and a storyteller. That so-called authentic you is really just you being your greatest version. And that happens when you're calm and relaxed and breathing properly and conversational in style. When you talk, you want the audience to be interested in listening to you. And that means you don't talk at them. In fact, adding engaging storytelling to your conversation will even enhance the listener's experience even more. You could do many takes to get it right, but don't worry about perfection. A natural stumble over a word or two makes your delivery more human, authentic, and vulnerable. Some speakers may memorize and deliver sentences they've written out ahead of time, which generally results in a less than conversational sounding conversation. Now, imagine a back and forth exchange as if you're in a real conversation with a friend or a listener. You can sound more conversational in your videos by using short sentences, using contractions like isn't instead of is not, pick words that are common, use rhetorical questions like do dogs bark? Do bears poop in the woods? Are you kidding me? These are questions asked for effect and not for answer. You can also use confirmation questions to check in on your listener. Right. You see? Is that so? You can even include repetitions, duplications, and hesitations, or even a giggle occasionally. These are all a normal part of spoken English. If you need to create a script, it's better to start with spoken words. If you don't absolutely need to create text, then just speak naturally using points from an outline. Tip number 9, prepare a well-treated room. You want to record as clean audio as possible, so you'll have to do less post-processing audio editing. If you have a crappy sounding room, one that is too live with echoes, or one that sounds empty, you may not be able to get the results you desire, even with post-processing audio editing. Access to a recording studio or a home recording studio is ideal to get the perfect acoustics for recording sound. But these solutions can be very expensive and impractical for all but the dedicated career voiceover artists. Try to create a space that is soundproof enough so that acoustics are usable and you can record clean audio, which mainly means no echoes and limited room noise. For ideas on how to treat a room, just Google the search term soundproofing. If you struggle to find a solution, a closet typically makes a great location to record because it typically only contains clothing, which actually absorbs sound and minimizes any bouncing or reflecting of the voice. A great acoustic setting. When choosing a room, be aware of the internal ambient noises to address, such as a humming refrigerator, ticking clocks, heating and air conditioning. And let's not forget, there are all kinds of noises from outside that you may have to deal with, like traffic, lawnmowers, sirens. And if they can't be avoided, you'll need to surgically remove them in post-processing audio editing. Wow! These tips on voiceover for video today focused on how to be well prepared to achieve and execute a great voiceover performance. If well practiced, these will help you take your narration performance to another level. In a future voiceover for video tips video, I intend to go over a bunch of tips on how to set up for a great recording and do a great post-processing audio editing. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions about how to do better voiceover narration performance for video, please leave them down below and I'll answer them if I can. If you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure that you click on the subscribe button so that I can produce more videos like this in the future. Also, please share or like this video if you found it of value. My channel focuses on video marketing skills, video creator skills, and how to make more engaging, entertaining, and inspiring videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.